Hello, how's it going? Hope you're all well who's listening. Another year and another Camp Arrow sale. This is for 2025. It's saying up to 50% off, which is pretty decent. Yeah, I don't think the sales are quite what they used to be, before Arrow was perhaps even as like big as it is. I mean, it was still big when I started collecting them about I think I started collecting Arrow about, let's say 2018, and when they had a sale like in 2019 or whatever, they were doing standard Blu-rays at like £7. Obviously, you pay about £9 now, due to like other factors and how things go up and stuff due to you know, this sort of financial climate. But there's still some good deals to be had, compared to what you'd normally pay. So we'll do a screen record. I might pick up a couple of bits. I'm not going to go crazy, I don't think, because I'm not intending to at the moment, and I have most of the Arrow video titles that I want. But I did want to have a look. They got the new announcements down here as well, like Deadstream's coming out from Arrow. Love the cover. That's a pretty cool like found footage one. It's very goofy and silly, but it is a fun one. I watched that one on Shudder. Then there's this film, The Woods. I'm not too sure what that is, but looks interesting. The Lost in Space remake of the series into a film, isn't it? I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't think I'll pick that one up. And then you've got American Gigolo 4K limited edition, which that one was released in the US some time ago as well. We're just getting it over here. And then Proof of the Man and some other bits. But let's hit up the sale anyway. And I might even get a couple of titles, guys. And I'll do recommendations at the end as well. I'll pull out some what I think worthwhile releases from Arrow and worth recommending. So we'll go up to the top tab, Camp Arrow 2025 sale. Here we go. We'll just take it from the top. If you watch these before, you know how I go about it. We just have a little chill, little browse through what's on offer. This video will strictly be Arrow for the Arrow sale. I'm not going to venture onto any other websites, but they've put down The Long Kiss Goodnight. I was even going to pick this up. I might have seen it years ago, I can't remember, but it's the 4K edition. It was normally about 23, I think, but they've put it down to 18. I could be tempted, but I'm not going to make any hasty decisions. Life Force 4K for 18. I'm happy with the Blu-ray I have. I have the Arrow Blu-ray edition, and I'm very happy with that. Usual Suspects. Never seen that film. I should probably rectify that. That's quite a good deal on the limited edition as well for 18. Dress to Kill, brilliant film. I did pick this up when it got released in March. This edition. Limited 4K, but yeah, they put it down to 18. So if you're still after the limited edition before it sells out, grab it. I mean, it's just a slipcover edition, it's not an actual like large box, but you do get a nice booklet and the film on 4K, and it's such a fun film. It's a really kind of different performance for Michael Caine. It's like such a really good kind of giallo-esque sort of murder thriller. Yeah, really do highly recommend Dress to Kill. Heather's on 4K. I skipped that because I have the Blu-ray. Not a bad film. I just don't see the point in upgrading that film to 4K for me personally. The Cell, I did pick up the 4K a few months ago. It was released at the beginning of the year. I think I paid more than 18 for it. I did pick it up, and I just wasn't that keen on it. It just didn't do much for me. I found it it had some okay like imagery and visuals, but overall, and dreamlike imagery, but overall I just weren't feeling it, so I sold it. Long Good Friday for £18, the 4K limited edition. I'm surprised this one's still around. Well, the limited anyway. But yeah, fantastic release this was. Great films. Well, great British gangster film from the 80s. Bob Hoskins, like such a gem, such a great actor to watch. Yeah, that's a really good one for 18. Yeah, if you haven't got that one, I do recommend it. And it was a nice, from what I can remember, because it come out last May time, didn't it? 2024, and it was a good 4K. It was a very like kind of true 4K. It kept the original look of the film intact whilst freshening it up for the ultra high definition, but kept that kind of like gritty look to it. That's what it weren't overly polished. It was a good 4K and worth upgrading, but it wasn't polished to the degree of making it look like it didn't look, if you kind of understand that. I don't know that much about transfers personally. I just got off my eyes, but I remember really thinking The Long Good Friday really kept the integral look of the film whilst being a good 4K remaster. Silence of the Lambs, obviously the limited edition, such a big film, that limited edition set sold out quickly, but you can get the standard release for 18. That's a good buy. Carlito's Way, £18. Don't Torture a Duckling limited edition. Great film from Lucio Fulci. Great giallo. £18. That's worth it. You see, I bought this on release day for about 22, which I'm glad I did in case it sold out. But, if you wait around for the sales, you can get some good deals. You're saving yourself a lot of money. This is what I need to start doing, just waiting for sales and things and just save a few pennies, man. It's worth it. FX for 20. I did pick this one up. FX 1 and 2. I've not got around to it yet. Fist of Fury, the individual, released on 4K for 18. Bruce Lee, that's good, as well as The Big Boss. That's a fun one. And I think there's like 2 cuts of The Big Boss as well, isn't there? Yeah, it's a 2. I remember. Yeah, it's a 2-disc with 2 cuts of The Big Boss. Good martial arts Bruce Lee movie, that one. The Good, the Bad, the Weird. Don't know what that is really. Some sort of like comedic western, I'd assume. As you can see, a lot of stuff. I haven't seen anything that compels me to purchase, to add to the basket though yet. Because a lot of them I have. I mean, Exorcist 3 4K. I could be tempted to upgrade that film, but I've got the same edition, but with the Blu-ray. So I'm very reluctant. Like, I know the 4K would be good. I just think, well, what's the point? Like, I might as well go and spend the money on something else. Like, instead of just, upgrading and replacing something that does its purpose and it's good. But could be tempted again. The Exorcist 3 on 4K. More Bruce Lee. True Romance for £15. That's good. I have the Blu-ray, but yeah, brilliant film. True Romance, really good. Yeah, good sort of like road movie. Like caper that unfolds. Like getting themselves into scrapes and stuff. Yeah, I did enjoy that one. I've only seen it the once though. Due on set, with all the movies in the Grudge collection, £30. It's a pretty good deal. Don't think it's limited edition. I have the limited one, but I think this is the standard. But who cares really? That's not a bad deal for all those films for £30. Madman 18. That one's still knocking about with the slip cover in the booklet. Videodrome for £15. Videodrome's such a good commentary on like consumerism and just like how we consume media and things like that. Such a weird film, but weird and odd, and a really good one at that. Videodrome for £15 on 4K is a hell of a deal. A non-Arrow video as well, so you get all the great extras and you get the nice sort of cover and stuff, and yeah, well worth it. The Heretic for 15. I've not got the Arrow version. I have the Scream Factory, so I could be tempted to sell my Scream Factory and get the Arrow, but it's another case of just a pointless endeavour. I'll be just swapping a Blu-ray release out for a Blu-ray release. Yes, this will be region free, so I can play it on more players, but I mean region B, so I can play it on more players I have, but my region A Scream Factory is fine because most of my players are all region anyway. Crash, David Cronenberg. Strange sort of sexually charged movie about people who get off on crashes, basically. I weren't that into it. I like a lot of Cronenberg's films very much, but Crash just perhaps a bit too strange in certain ways. I love strange stuff, mind you, and weird stuff, but Crash is just perhaps a bit step in that weird sort of sexually charged, like, sort of fair, like getting off on crashes, like a bit odd, that one, but a cool idea for a film nonetheless. Like, it's different. The Hellraiser box set tetralogy, so that's 4 movies. Is that right? Yeah. Phenomena, £15. That's a good deal. Yeah, not seen anything that I haven't got. I've got most of the Arrow stuff, either standard releases or limited. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves on 4K for 15. I could be tempted. I wouldn't mind that one in the collection, but still not overly compelled. Silent Running 4K for 15. I think I have got the Blu-ray release with the slip. That's a kind of bizarre little contained movie. This guy on his spaceship, basically like tending to his plants with this little robot. Quite a very like mundane film where not too much happens. Very very slow paced, and you can tell it's probably not got much happening because it's a certificate U, and it's not necessarily a film that's aimed at kids. I mean, it's aimed at anybody, but it's rather, I wouldn't say it was dull. It's different, and it's just a little bit mundane, I thought, but there we go. Crimson Peak, Deep Red for 15. That's a good deal. Oh, that is a good deal. Robocop for 15. So if you've missed out on some of the limited editions or even the standard releases of the some of the movies they've upgraded to 4K, example being Robocop, I mean, £15, that's a good deal for the Robocop 4K, and stuff like Deep Red. Some of them are 18 because they're slightly newer releases, like you got the Carrie standard 4K 18, Invasion of the Body Snatchers 18, The Lighthouse, brilliant film, 18, With Nail and I, could be interested in that, but I'm not paying 25 quid for it because it'll be a blind buy and I don't want to spend that much on a blind buy. Tenebrae, American Wealth in London 15, and that is another good deal. So we got up to 26 pages. I'll try and do the lot, so I might start breezing through a bit, guys. Cinema Paradiso. Yeah, heard it's a really good movie. Don't know much about it. Trick or Treats, £20 for the limited, but I have that. So yeah, I'm just gonna scroll through and just make a few observations because I am interested in perhaps getting a couple of titles, but nothing's standing out to me that I own most of it, and also there's nothing that's just screaming buy me. Perhaps I need to get to the cheaper ones. So if we get past we get to the £9 ones, then I might become a little bit more interested. Because a lot of the newer stuff that's still going at higher prices I do have. Dark Water on 4K. I'll probably be more than likely to pick that up on Blu-ray. I've never seen the movie, but I am interested in it. I think it's a J-horror, isn't it? And yeah, I think I'll go for a standard Blu-ray of that. I don't think I'll pay £18 for a 4K. Not a bad deal, I suppose, because it's a newish 4K, but Doom Asylum, that's some low-budget nonsense. Really just, set in an abandoned insane asylum, and it's so low budget. But some of the gore looks pretty good. It's one of those got a bit of nasty gore, and the killers got that maniac vibe, and yeah, it's okay. It's a really low budget movie, but it's kind of fun. Nothing special, but fun. Beyond the Door, I hated that. I did have the limited years ago. I think that came out in 2020, didn't it? Great cover and stuff. It's like an Exorcist rip-off, but it's just really bad. An Exorcist melodrama kind of rip-off, and it's just boring. There's a bit of possession, but it pales in comparison to a film like The Exorcist, even though it's never going to be as good as that. I mean, there's not many films that are, but still, Beyond the Door, no, not for me. I didn't like that one. Trapped Alive, I saw on the Arrow streaming service when I had that. That was okay. Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia. Could be interested in that for £9. You know what I'll do? I might actually just get two. I might set myself a limit because I don't want to spend too much. I don't need to because I have most of the Arrow titles that I want. I'll put that. What I'll do is I'll trim the basket down at the end, so we'll just pop that in the basket. So yeah, continue shopping. Abominable Dr. Phibes, Vincent Price. I have that. The Prey's a good little camp slasher if you're into your kind of campy camp, back out in the woods, kind of secluded, weird killer with a backstory, axing people to death. I enjoy it. Deadly Manor, not bad, bit crap. There's Life Force, the Blu-ray. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll just put a few in the basket, and then I might trim it down at the end and select a few. Nothing there that stands out to me. Apart from, there's stuff that stands out, but I own it, so what is the point? King of New York on 4K, I could be tempted to get that at some point, but I think I'll just stick with the Blu-ray. Why the hell not? £20 for the limited edition Blu-ray set of Deep Blue Sea. That's a good deal. I had a comment last night, actually. I don't know if it was the person who wrote the comment was being overly negative, but I got a negative vibe off it, and I'd been drinking as well, and they kind of basically had a go at us collectors who buy limited editions, and therefore that causes them to be have a high price or something to that effect. I can't even remember what the commenter's handle was, but somebody just wrote, it's you guys who push the prices up, and that. So how's it my fault? I just buy the editions that are available and think, well, I might purchase that. I do like collecting collector's editions and limited editions, but I say on this channel many times, I like the packaging, the chunky boxes, and I like the sets with the supplements galore, but I don't want them to be limited. They can make them just broad collector's editions for me and have them available at any time so people can buy them. It's nothing to do. How's it got anything to do with me? I didn't understand that comment, so I just wrote a load of nonsense back that made no sense because they didn't to me. Because how do us people who buy limited editions, how's it our fault? We don't want them to necessarily be limited. Just because we've purchased an edition that we want, it doesn't mean I don't want the next guy or girl to have it. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous saying stuff like that. I don't see the point in that, getting at me like that. Not that I'm bothered, it's just I'm not the one saying make them limited editions so only I have a copy of the special edition. No, just make them collector's editions that are available all the time in nice boxes, and do standards as well as them, sort of Second Sight do. They don't have to be limited for me. I couldn't care less. A lot of my stuff that I've got that's worth money, because it's really limited and very out of print, I have no intention of ever selling it anyway, so it'd just be my collection. I'm not trying to make money off it. Anyway, sorry about that little rant. I just had to. But yeah, we've got the Candyman 4K, £15. That's a good release. Demolition Man, the Blu-ray limited edition, is still knocking about for 20. The Addiction, that was an interesting one from Abel Ferreira. Very grounded take on vampirism. A very grounded vampiric movie. Oh boy, I have that Blu-ray. Yeah, nothing's standing out to me like the Chill Factor I didn't enjoy. A lot of these I just have. But we'll keep going. We'll go all the way to the end. See if anything stands out. Oh yeah, Zombie Flesh Eaters, the new 4K edition will be out in July. Well, a couple of weeks. I can't wait for that. Black Rainbow, could be slightly interested in that. I have nearly picked it up before, but I think I'll pass. It's not jumping out at me. I think I've got Blood Tide in my collection, and Edge of the Axe, which was an interesting enough little 80s slasher, but nothing. Deadbeat at Dawn, I wouldn't mind actually picking up some time. That's a very cool sort of like DIY independent film. Very low budget DIY, but really, really cool in its own right. The Stuff, I think I'm going to get the 4K. Now there's With Nail and I wouldn't mind getting that sometime. I don't know whether to pop that in the basket. Yeah, I might. Know nothing about it really, apart from it being some comedy maybe, but I'd try it. Over the Edge I thought was a little bit disappointing. The subject matter's interesting, but the execution I didn't think was that great. Yeah, just a bunch of stuff I've got really. But we'll keep going. Yeah, nothing's like screaming out to me. I mean, I've added a couple to the basket, but I don't even know if I feel compelled to buy them. That's a little underrated. A really good low budget kind of, you like your backwoods slashers and set in the snow with people in cabins. Satan's Blade's got a cool score. It's very kind of dreary and dark, but in a good way. I did enjoy Satan's Blade. That's a good recommendation. In my opinion, I like it. A lot of people will just think it's rubbish, which is fine. Can't see much. Most of it I've got. I'm not even going over everything too much and telling you which ones I've got, because I don't really see the point. Film Noir Collection, Volume 3 for £40. Yeah, nothing here that I'm going crazy about. The Bloodhound was kind of okay, little like sort of contained movie setting and like house, with a bit of ambiguity to it. I quite enjoyed the Bloodhound actually. I had to pick that one up. Death Screams is a very low budget sort of crap slasher film. I wouldn't mind it in the collection, to be fair, for £9, but I don't feel compelled because I'm not going to watch it for ages, because I watched it when it was out a couple of years ago. Watched it on the Arrow streaming service. Yeah, nothing's £5 for Cold Light of Day. That's a pretty good deal. I didn't think the film was amazing, but it's based on that, what's his name, the killer. I forget his name now. Very known and British, Dennis Nilsson. It's a film made of him from the 80s. That killer put the bodies under under his floorboards and then flushed it into the sewer system. Sorry, and then he was found out. The police uncovered that. It's based on the true events. It's quite a grim tale actually. Ivan's Ecstasy, I've never felt compelled to get. Just no interest in it. It might be a good film, but yeah. Deadly Games I've thought about getting a few times, but that many people, when it got released by Arrow, that many people have said it's pretty awful. Like, just not even awful in a kind of fun way, like so bad it's good. They've just said it's a bad film, and I've just had no interest in it. Graveyards of Honor, 2 films by Kinji Fukusaka and Takeshi Miike for £15. That's a good deal. Could be tempted on something like that, but don't know if I fancy it this time around. Got the Ring Collection. That's a good set for £25. For all, I think it's 3 movies, is it, or is it 4? Can't quite remember. 3 movies, but it's the J-horror Ring movies. The Japanese ones. We're getting there, so I've gone a bit. No, I nearly went too far. I'm going to speed it along a bit anyway, guys. Let's check the time, because 19 minutes. Night Siren I picked up last year. It's a bit of sort of like a strange witchcraft kind of folk horror. I wasn't overly thrilled by it, but yeah, worth a look. Maybe if you have like can find it on streaming, like on if you've got Arrow on streaming, it'd probably be worth more of a look. Don't know if I'd even pay 15 for it. I think it was 18 on release. The El Dusha tapes. There's a recommendation about this guy who's in a band. El Duce, just this miscreant who gets into all kinds of capers. This is about his sort of his strange like career whilst being like a bit of a down and out. He was in a band and sort of just like couch surfing and stuff. Yeah, really interesting documentary, that one. I watched that on the Arrow player and felt compelled to buy it, so I did. I thought it was that interesting. The comic I did pick up cheap off a seller, but I've not watched it yet. I've heard it's terrible. Daniel Isn't Real. I didn't really like that. I had the Blu-ray. Rawhead Rex for £9. That'll be getting a 4K at some point because there's a Kino 4K, isn't there? Texas Adios. See, there's nothing, guys. I've only put 2 in the basket and I don't think I'm even buying them. I just thought I would put a few in. But if you've not got, if you're trying to build an Arrow collection, now's the time to jump on it, while they've got these £9 releases. Like The Stylist for £5, that's a good film. I do have it myself. It's basically, imagine like the female maniac, the film starring Joe Spinell, directed by William Lustig, Maniac. Imagine a modern female sort of version of that. She's a scalper and she's an hairstylist. Yeah, and for £5, that is a good deal. That's probably one of the best deals I've seen on here. The Mangler, have that. Yeah, I mean, if you've not got them, there's lots of things on here. Like I say, this is more fun. I found the Arrow sales more fun when I was trying to build an Arrow collection. So I'd buy a bunch of these standard Arrow releases, which are perfectly fine. They come with all the special features and the same disc as the limited. It's just you don't get all the excessive packaging. But yeah, if you're looking to build a collection of Arrow stuff, get on the sale and have a look. Like for £9 a title, they're fully fleshed out editions as well. I'm just going to do a little flick now, guys, because I think I'm about done. I don't think I'm going to buy anything, to be fair. I put a couple in the basket, but I'm not too interested, really. They look like good films. Like Scalpel's a good one. I can't even remember whether I have Scalpel in my collection. If I haven't, I might have to rectify that. I did watch it on the Arrow player, though. I may have bought it. I can't remember. The Untamed's a good, I think it's a Spanish horror. Really kind of strange about this kind of Lovecraftian creature that basically is like making love to this woman and stuff. Really odd. Kind of got touches of possession in there, I'd say, with that kind of concept. Like really odd, but good. And now we're going to all the sold out stuff. So we'll call it a day there because as you can see, all the ones up to page 26 are actually sold out. Yeah. So look at the time. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that, guys. I was going to do I'll do a couple of recommendations. Well, I did do some recommendations, didn't I, really? I mean, I said like Dress to Kill for £18 while the limited's around is a good one. Long Good Friday, there's a recommendation while the limited's around for 18. Same with Don't Torture a Duckling. The Bruce Lee films like Way of the Dragon and The Big Boss on 4K for £18. Top recommendations, definitely. True Romance for 15, 4K, that's a good one. What else could I recommend? Basically, I've done some recommendations, haven't I? I was going to do them in, I was going to pick stuff out of my collection and do them, but I think we're good. So yeah, perhaps if you watch this video, let me know, like in the comments section, are you taking part in the Arrow sale? What are you going to purchase, or what have you picked up in the sale? I'm pretty good this year, as you can see. I did put a couple in my basket, Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia and With Nail and I, which would have come to £18. So with the delivery fee, it probably would be about 24. I'm going to pass on that, so I'm actually not going to purchase those. I might get them in another later date, but I don't feel compelled to just pick up 2 things. Now, if I'd have filled up the basket with about 6 items, I probably would have got it all, but I'm good. But thanks for watching anyway, guys. I'll see you on the next video. That's my little browse of the Camp Arrow 2025 sale. Some great standard releases for £9, and some good deals on the limited edition 4Ks if you want to save yourself £5 or so from their normal retail price. But overall, pretty much the same old, isn't it? Love Arrow, great label, but we get one of these sales every year, and we get one at Halloween and we get one at Easter, and they're near enough the same prices. So nothing to see here really, but thanks for watching anyway. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.